Huntrix was being chased by a horde of demons!
What are we gonna do?
Don't worry, I have a plan.
And you didn't think to tell us?
But before Rumi could act on her plan, there was a flash of light, and Huntrix had been transported to the Sprunki universe.
What just happened? Why do we look like this?
Naturally, the band started freaking out.
If we don't get back home soon, there will be no one to hold the Honmoon.
But going back home was going to be harder than expected, especially with Black seeing these new Sprunkis. He was excited at the opportunity for some chaos, but he couldn't help but wonder,
well, where did my Sprunkis go?
Well, turns out they had swapped places with Huntrix. And when Oren, Raddy, and Funbot all woke up,
check it out, guys. I've got hands. This is totally awesome.
treating this event like a vacation because in this world, they didn't have to worry about being chased around by Black. Unfortunately, the same couldn't be said for the hunters.
How hard is it to find a stupid portal?
Oh, there's one!
But that wasn't the portal they were hoping it was.
Hello there, ladies. Are you my audience for today?
Black was back to his usual evil deeds and was trying to fuse his horror dimension with the Sprunki world.
Time to put on a show.
But little did he know, the demon hunters weren't so easily intimidated.
First we deal with this guy, then we find our way home.
Black didn't like that they weren't scared of him, so he threatened to corrupt them next. As I'm sure you could imagine, the hunters wouldn't let that happen. Rumi was the first to attack Black, and she expected it to be easy, considering she had fought much stronger foes, but when she called for her sword, nothing appeared.
You look disappointed, but I'm just getting started.
Mira tried attacking him next.
I'm gonna knock you down a few pegs.
Black blasted her with a horror energy, which froze her in midair.
Oh, you look scared. How delightful.
Zoey saw her friends fail and thought she could sneak up on Black, but he sensed her and grabbed her before she could do anything.
Not so fast. Did you think I'd let your friends have all the fun?
He then started corrupting her with horror energy. Mira and Rumi saw this and screamed. Their screams came out as magical energy blasts, which knocked Black away from Zoey. The band managed to escape their new enemy and found a place to hide.
Are you okay, Zoey?
It looks worse than it is, but it feels pretty bad.
Mira was eager to keep looking for a portal.
The longer we stay here, the more innocent souls are lost in our world.
But the encounter with Black made Rumi start thinking.
And what about the souls in this world? We can't just let the Hat Man destroy it.
Mira reluctantly agreed that if anyone was going to save this world from Black, it would have to be them.
Let's just hope that whoever ended up in our dimension is just as capable.
They couldn't be more wrong. You see, the Sprunkis had never been heroes. In fact, they actively tried to avoid fights. So when the demons started sneaking through the Honmoon,
Guys, I think it's time to get out of here.
they were the first ones to run. But the demons weren't going to let them escape that easily. And with the Sprunkis getting overpowered, Raddy got angry. His drumstick started to glow. He had officially become a demon hunter.
Oh yeah, this is so cool. A little help here?
But that didn't mean they wanted to stick around for any more to come. So they ran out of the store, but as they were running, they were stopped by Celine. She seemed to know that they had replaced Huntrix. Celine told them that a dimensional swap must have occurred, which only happens when the universe wants to teach a lesson.
What do you mean a lesson? Yeah, I don't know about this.
Celine then informed them that since Huntrix is missing, that Oren, Raddy, and Funbot are in charge of holding the Honmoon and keeping the demons at bay. But the Sprunkis refused.
This ain't even our job. I don't even know what a Honmoon is.
they left Celine to continue their vacation. Meanwhile, in the Sprunkiverse, Mira and Rumi were practicing their new musical powers and were hoping they could use them to defeat Black. The only problem was that their notes were out of sync, with Rumi's being too high and Mira's being too low. They tried urging Zoey to train since she hadn't used the power at all yet.
I can't do it. I'm sorry.
She was scared to fail and let her friends down again. But before Rumi and Mira could tell her that she could never let them down, they all felt a strange sensation
Something's wrong.
and saw that the sky was getting darker in the distance. Black had returned to corrupt the world. Mira and Rumi prepared to face Black, but Zoey begged them to stay.
You guys aren't ready yet.
But Rumi and Mira knew that they had to at least try.
We aren't going to just stand by and let this world die, Zoey.
Especially not with us in it.
So while Black was continuing his corruption, Rumi and Mira found places to hide and prepared a sneak attack. They blasted their sound waves towards Black,
Oh, I'm on to your little tricks now.
but he dodged the attacks with ease.
You want to party? So let's party.
The fight was on, and Black still had the upper hand. Things were going a lot better for Oren and his friends, who were seeing how well their new bodies could dance. But that fun wouldn't last for long, and they all sensed it before they saw it.
Do you guys feel that?
Demons were invading the dance club.
Not our problem.
Oren quickly realized that the patrons of the club had no way to defend themselves. And since the Sprunkis seemed to be the only ones who could see the demons, it also meant they were the only ones capable of saving this world.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking? I'm not standing around while people get hurt.
They were granted their weapons and got to work. Raddy fought with his drumsticks,
Oh, this is so fun!
while Oren threw records.
You're telling me. Check this out.
And as for Funbot, he had laser eyes. Unfortunately, things weren't going as well for Rumi and Mira, who were still getting the hang of their new abilities.
Too slow!
Black was slowly but surely corrupting the Sprunki world. He then trapped the band members so they couldn't try to stop him. Meanwhile, Zoey was back at the hideout and was worried sick about her friends. But since she was finally alone,
Come on, I can do this.
she decided to give the musical power a shot. She sang a note and the energy wave blasted out. Zoey was shocked when she heard the sound it made because it was the missing middle note between Mira and Rumi's. That's when she realized she wasn't going to drag her friends down. In fact, she's exactly what they needed.
I'm to go save my friends.
It was a good thing, too, because Black was done playing around and was getting ready to kill Rumi and Mira. But right before he could, Zoey jumped into action and sang her tune.
What in the...
That allowed Zoey to save her friends.
You're in trouble now.
Oh, you picked the wrong band to mess with!
Zoey told her friends they would need to work together if they wanted to take him down. And that's exactly what they did. And with all three of them singing their notes,
No! You can't stop me!
that reversed his corruption
No!
and sent him flying back into the horror dimension. Huntrix was proud of how well they had worked together without their weapons.
Now just imagine how powerful we'll be when we get back.
Yeah, if only we knew how to get back.
And just like that, the girls began to glow. They had learned their lesson and worked together. And as the Sprunkis defeated the last of the demons,
I'm getting good at this.
they began to glow too! There was another flash of light, and the trio swapped universes again! The Sprunkis saw Black's corruption fading and knew that he must have been near. But this time, they hoped he would come back because they weren't going to run from him anymore. They knew that they were the only ones who could protect their world, and they were going to do everything in their power to do that. I was sent into orbit to investigate something strange. A massive sleeping Labubu had appeared in space. We called it Moon Boo Boo. I was hesitant to get too close, but Chubbs was determined to wake it up, and I couldn't stop him. But when he did, it was not happy. The Moon Boo Boo headed straight towards Earth. We couldn't keep up, but right as it was getting close, it stopped. When Chubbs and I had landed, we found that the world had already changed. The Labubu head in the sky caused some people to freak out, while others believed it was here to help. Labubus began leaving their villages and fighting campers. We didn't know it at first, but the bites were infected and were transforming people into Labubu hybrids. Nobody was safe. The Moon Boo Boo hovered over Earth for years, and in an attempt to figure out why, the Labubu Defense Division was created. Being one of the first people to see the Moon Boo Boo, I knew I couldn't just do nothing, so I joined the group, hoping to get some answers. And with more people turning by the day, we knew it was time. A few days later, we launched our first contact mission. But when the probe got close, the Moon Boo Boo opened its mouth and unleashed a flurry of rock-like Labubus, which destroyed all of our hard work. I yelled for Chubbs to get out of there, but it was too late. The Moon Boo Boo had killed my best friend. After that, we decided to focus on what we could fix on Earth. I was placed in a squad and sent off to an area with a high Labubu hybrid population. We were hoping we would get answers, but instead we were met with violence. The battle started evenly matched. We had the firepower to hold them off, but just as it seemed like we might win, something terrifying appeared. It looked like a giant alien Labubu. This alien laid waste to my squad. It was ruthless, unstoppable, a killing machine. We could do nothing to stop it. And as the only survivor, I just barely made it out alive. I raced back to the Defense Division's HQ, but when I got there, they didn't want to hear about the monster I had encountered because they were too focused on what was happening above. A giant hand in the cosmos grabbed the Moon Boo Boo and took it away to the unknown. Nobody knew why, but the Moon Boo Boo was gone. Years have passed since that day, and civilization is trying its hardest to rebuild. I was given a promotion and have dedicated my life to working with scientists to make a cure. I knew the giant Labubu was the key to getting that, but nobody even believed it was real. So one night, I went searching for the beast. It seemed like I would never find it until my van flipped over. And when I crawled out, it was right there waiting for me. I hit the monster with everything I had. I thought I was prepared this time, but even that wasn't enough. Things were going from bad to worse. Time for a strategic withdrawal. I sent out a distress signal, but I knew the reinforcements would be too late. And the creature was hunting me. So I used every last bit of my strength to try fighting back. Even though I could barely hurt it, I wasn't about to go down without a fight. But in the end, it beat me. The last thing I remember was the monster standing over me, followed by a massive explosion. I woke up 3 days later, Everyone was surprised to see me alive. But more importantly, they were excited to show me the good news. They had caught the alien Boo-Boo, and it was the first real step to fixing what the Moon Boo-Boo had done to the world. Bubba had a plan that he thought might work, but something told me this wasn't the end. I was with my friends in the woods, totally lost. And that's when we saw it, a deer monster. Just as I went to get a closer look, I woke up in the back of the car. It was just a horrible dream. I told my friends about my nightmare, and Angel thought it was bad luck. But Chubb said we were just being babies. I sure wish he was right. We started to set up camp, and I was the lumberjack. But things were already getting weird. A strange, thick fog rolled in. So we huddled up to the campfire. But then we saw something in the fog. Chubbs was getting prepared to fight the figure. But when Angel shined her flashlight on it, we discovered it was a pelt trader. He had been searching for his lost son, who went missing in the forest 99 nights ago. He warned us of a horrible monster lurking in the woods. It looked like a mutant deer. It was just like my nightmare. So when the trader left, I told everyone we had to leave right now. But Chubbs didn't want to go. He said the trader was probably just messing with us. We decided to call it a night there and had a peaceful sleep. But the next morning, Chubbs was making us breakfast when he saw something in the bushes. He went to go investigate, but he didn't come back. Angel and I figured he was pulling a prank. But as the sun got lower, we got really worried. We packed some supplies, and we went searching. As we looked, we stumbled across a creepy old cabin. It seemed to be abandoned, but we did find a revolver inside. Angel remembered what the fur trader said about the monster. So we took the revolver just in case. It's a good thing she did, too, because as we continued walking, it felt like something was watching us. Wasn't the deer monster. It was a pack of wolves. I got my axe out and started fending them off. But after taking a closer look, I noticed that one of the wolves had a key on its collar. Weird. That same wolf knocked me off my feet. But luckily, Angel saved me, and the collar snapped right off. We ran away to hide and found a secret staircase deep into the ground, which led us to a locked gate. Angel tried the key, and it worked. And we couldn't believe what we were seeing. It was the fur trader's son. He ran away as soon as we found him. So we chased after him, but we weren't alone. The strange cultists took our weapons and brought us to a clearing in the woods. They must worship the deer monster. And since we let their sacrifice escape, we would be taking his place. They started a big fire and began preparing us for the deer monster. But I wasn't going down without a fight. So I fought off the monster lovers. Bumpy special coming right up. Take that and that. I cut the ropes around Angel and got ourselves some upgraded weapons. Oh yeah! Then we ran to save our friend. We knew what we were looking for now. We needed to find an animal with a key. And that's when we saw it. An alpha bear! This wasn't going to be an easy fight, but it was the only way to get to Chubbs. So I ran at the bear with my axe. And he swatted me away with ease. I'd be lying if I said that didn't hurt. It did. Getting eaten would hurt a lot more. Angel loaded her new weapon and fired at the bear. But its hide was like armor, and it charged at her next. She just lined up her next shot, but when she pulled the trigger, she realized she was out of ammo. The weapon was still useful. This gave me just enough time to jump on its back and swing down with my axe. Run! The alpha bear was knocked out, so we grabbed the key and found the hidden gate. But the door was already open. And Chubbs was nowhere to be found. That's when we heard him calling for help. We followed the sound of his voice and saw that he was about to be sacrificed. Typical Chubbs. With no more weapons, we had to improvise. Angel called out from the woods. And when the deer monster turned to look at her, she shined a flashlight right at its face. It was working! The deer monster tried attacking me too, but it stumbled from its blurry vision and fell into the fire. We saved Chubbs and sped back home. We became legends to the cultists that day because we were the ones who killed the deer monster.